Hey everyone, it's Zach Braff. I'm sitting here in the bar at the Duke of York's Theater, and I'm here to answer some of the web questions you submitted to ATG. So here we go. Hey Claire from Scotland, thank you for your question. We have talked about possibly making All New People into a film. There's been several producers who've come to the show and really responded to it. And I kind of have a rough shape of what the film would be. I'm on the fence about it right now. I think I'm so close to it because I'm doing the show every single night that I kind of want a little distance from it to see if I can figure out what the movie would be. Since the play all takes place in real time in one room, I think it might be interesting in the film version to sort of open it up a little bit. That's like a Hollywood lingo term where you essentially find ways to move it out of just one room. So maybe it takes place over the course of a whole night on this island, and they travel around a little bit rather than just staying in the living room of this house. Or not, maybe it might be cool to just keep it in the house. Those are the things I'm ruminating on, but it is something I'm considering. Patty from Manchester, hi. How are you? I loved Manchester. We had a lot of fun there. I just like really wacky people, but who aren't wacky for wacky's sake. We all know when we see someone in the world and we go, wow, that is a genuinely odd person. They're not putting anything on. They're not trying to be wacky. They're just genuinely unique and bizarre and funny. And the character of Emma in my play is one of those people. She's just sort of based on women I've met in my life that I just thought were just so bizarre and intriguing. And there's a line in the play where the character actually says, she's describing her friend, but she says, he's one of those people who so beautifully straddles the line of sane and insane. And I like people like that who delicately ride the line of sane and insane. Thanks for your question, Abby from London. There are some jokes that get a bigger response here. I'm not exactly sure what they are because it's now I'm sort of settled into what it is here. I know I thought I was gonna have to change more jokes coming from New York to London, but really we just changed pop culture references. There are a handful of them that an American audience got that a London audience wouldn't get. One of them was Felicia Rashad. Which was a punchline. Felicia Rashad was the mom from The Cosby Show, and we all grew up on The Cosby Show, people my age in the States, so everyone knows who Felicia Rashad is. She's also a theater actress. So, but people in London didn't know the Felicia Rashad reference, so we changed it to Morgan Freeman, who everybody knows Morgan Freeman. There were a couple more, you know, I'm Jewish, and there's a couple of shocking. There's a couple of handful of Jewish jokes in the play that really get great laughs here, but New York has a higher density population of Jewish theater goers, so maybe those got slightly more laughs. And maybe there's one or two that don't really get huge laughs here, but I kept them in because I think they're funny and they make me laugh. But for the most part, the audiences have been just amazing here. Just like in New York, really, really responsive and really having a fun time at the show, which is all we really want. Lucy from Bournemouth. I've never heard of Bournemouth, but I do enjoy saying Bournemouth. I'm gonna name my first child Bournemouth Braff. Lucy from Bournemouth. The pre-show mix, the idea of it is that it slowly amps up until the curtain opens. That's really the main, it's just basically music I like and that I've been listening to, and I don't really have much music in the show. I mean, there isn't really no music other than a song that's integral to the plot. But in terms of the pre-show music that's playing while the audience filters in, my idea was that it's a half hour, right? Because they open the house at 7 o'clock and the show starts at 7:30, so it's a half hour's worth of music. And my rough idea was that it would build in tempo little by little until it got the audience super excited by the end. So that's just the rough idea. It doesn't really have too much to do with the play other than it's music by bands I really love, and and it kind of gets me psyched up when I'm backstage before we do the show. Joanne from Ireland, that's a really good question, and I don't know. I guess I would say that that I would confide in myself that nothing comes easy, and that you're going to have to work really hard for things to go after your dreams. I've been blessed with some great successes in my career thus far, but they all are things that didn't happen overnight, that I worked really hard for. You know, I went to film school and wrote Garden State for a very long time and had everyone in the world pass on it before I was able to make it. My first audition professionally was when I was 13 years old. I got a couple of parts here and there, but didn't really have a giant break until Scrubs when I was 25, I believe. So that's what I would whisper in my ear, that and this play was a dream. I always wanted to write a play. I never thought it would be in the West End. So I would go back and say, like, all these things that you want to do, that you dream about doing, there's going to be a lot of pitfalls, and there'll be doors slammed in your face, but you just have to not give up and keep working so hard, because if you can't lose if you don't ever give up. So that's what I would whisper in my 20-year-old ear, and my 20-year-old self would probably ask how my 37-year-old self had traveled back in time, and would probably be more preoccupied with the whole time and space travel than in my advice.